Okay, so we're on our way to the comic book show. Just going to stop off at the banking machine before we head out here. You got the directions there?
Yeah, get on 427 North, continue on 427 North, take the 401 East to Weston Road in North York. Take exit 357 from 401, about 7-minute drive to Wilson Avenue.
Cool, cool. 401 East.
Ooh, yeah, we can see it coming up on the left.
Coming up. Okay, we're going through the back entrance again, because that's how most people go to the con. They come in through the back entrance. Con started at 10 o'clock, and we're here just after 11, so it's been on for about an hour. That's some of the original Infinity Crisis.
Yeah, I want the Supergirl death issue.
I've got the first issue, but I didn't get the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm looking for getting not the whole set, but definitely the one with the death of Supergirl.
Yeah, that's for sure. So is there any significance to this book? Somebody told me that there was, but I can't remember now. So what do you think there, Mike? Anything good so far?
No.
It's not a bad one.
It's rough. It's a reader.
It's a reader. Oh. Shield number. I'm glad I got that one out of the way.
I'm still looking for it. So he can do that if he wants to.
See, that's the one I'm looking for. Let's just say there's some stains on it in the tear.
Yeah. Cover indents.
Maybe find a better copy than that one. That's cool. I love those psychedelic 60s type covers, eh?
Oh, they're awesome.
They've done a really good job. They did a really good job. Oh yeah, got it. Got it. Yeah, I got to think about that. The original Harley Quinn series.
Yeah, there's that. Here? We have 250. First print? 250. Yeah. Did you say Squirrel Girl?
Yes, I did.
Where is she?
The pot right here.
Oh, is that the first appearance?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So we found it and we did some research on it.
Really?
And it's actually in great condition.
Okay, so we're about an hour into the show so far, and this is what I picked up. I picked up the Captain Marvel number 2. You want to take that, Jose? Just take the Captain Marvel number 2. And I also picked up a nice copy of Spider-Man Team Up.
Mockingbird.
Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and Mockingbird.
For $35.
Let's see, it was a 42. Got it for 35. Not too bad. Not a bad start. And Jose picked up a number 66 Fantastic Four.
First appearance of him who would turn into be Warlock.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, wow. Not a bad start to our day. Not a bad start.
258 for 260.
260?
Yeah.
Good price.
Covers to Mr. Miracle. Lovely.
They got nice covers, eh?
Kirby covers, yeah. Kirby classic covers. It's a rip off the first issue.
Yeah.
Very cool. Wow, that's a nice one too. Very cool covers for Mr. Miracle.
Want to do that whole run or what?
Well, I may, or I may just do the keys on that run for that.
Yeah.
There's a few keys on that.
Yeah. Yeah, the Toronto Comic Book Show. Another fantastic weekend. And, I think we can all agree that there are a few conventions, and there are definitely very few small conventions, where you're going to find better selection and better price than this event. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Better than a fan expo? Who'd have thought it possible? Yes, boys and girls. 30 to 40 dealers, and now this is our third appearance for me and Paul. This is Oogie's second, and it seems to be getting better. You see the old hands, Helgoland and the Back Cave, but you always see what I would call collector dealers, guys, mom and pops who don't have internet presence or a bricks and mortar store, and you get enough frequency of different types that you get lots of good selection.
Yeah, that's for sure. Actually, I think you said 40, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it was actually 60 dealers between inside the ballroom
and outside
and along the hallway outside. Yeah.
You could deal all day in the hallway without even paying the $5 price
Yeah.
to get in.
Yeah.
You technically actually could do that.
You
by
could
the way.
do that. Okay, guys. So before we start, we're going to start in just a few moments. Just want to do a quick shout out because I started this show in January 2014, so we're getting close to 3 years here since.
This has been 3. I haven't been here the whole time.
Haven't been
A
there.
little applause, I think.
Mike was here from the beginning. Well, not from the beginning, but very close to the
Very
beginning
close to the beginning, yeah.
when we did those bombshell episodes.
Absolutely, and man, do we ever look like Bob and Doug McKenzie of the comic book industry
Yeah.
there. Yes, we do.
Memories.
But I just want to, put out a shout out to some of the guys that have been making these shows in the comic book community. There's not only the guys that I like watching their episodes, but I also find them inspirational in the stuff they're doing. They also give me some great ideas for books that I would like to get myself. And I can't mention everybody, but some of the guys I've been watching recently, Vin Crew 1200.
Yeah.
Obviously,
yeah.
Michael Jocko, we're always watching his.
Always him,
him, sure.
You got Jimmy C. and Lee Kirby Ditko Comics.
Ooh.
You got Mango Comics, Kingpin, and of course Lightning 2288. Just
22A.
got some great ideas coming from him.
Absolute.
And I love watching you guys' videos. Hope you keep on making them because we do get some great
Absolutely.
ideas.
We're always riffing off each other. It's
Yeah.
a two-way mirror, boys and girls.
Yeah,
There you
I was just watching this week, or I think on Monday night, one of Vin Crew 1200's latest videos where he's selling some books. I don't know how many he showed. He must have showing like 300 or 400 books that he's got up for sale there.
Wow, volume.
Ooh,
And-
check that out.
Yeah, it's great, and a lot of nice indie books. Stuff that I've never even heard of before.
I'm
So
not big on my indie. Used to be in the day, not in 25
Oh,
years.
we got a couple boxes.
Yeah.
I still love them.
yeah, so you might want to check out his. And again, guys, love watching your stuff. Keep working hard. Keep making those videos. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just going to show you this one quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because this is the second copy I've acquired of this book.
Wait a minute, you bought this twice?
Well, I bought it last year, but this one I saw at the show is one of the very first books.
Oh, killer.
It's X-Men number 244. I think we're all aware this is the first appearance of Jubilee.
So, okay, so let's try to find the motivation. Like, what prompted you to buy this book? Was it maybe its price?
I paid $10 for it,
Holy Batman,
and some
$10.
and some idiot right next door was selling it for $60.
Okay,
He
10
literally
bucks.
turned around. It was $60 there. He turned around, and on the rack, right behind him, there's a dealer that had it $10. He goes, "Oh my God, there it is!"
That is extreme. Wow. You know what? $10 is too low. You kind of stole that one. 60
did,
bucks
yeah.
is too high, though. There's a happy medium there.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah. In a 9.2, I know you don't like to do anything higher than 9.2.
Yeah, no, don't go there.
This goes for about $43 US.
That's about right. I was
Yeah.
going to say 50 to 60 bucks Canadian.
Yeah.
You're in the ballpark around that. Well, which is closer to the 60 than it is to the 10, you might agree. So you're not unhappy about that.
Yeah.
And take a look at the condition. He's
Yeah, so
right
you think
on
it's at least a
spot.
992?
It is. If
Yeah.
anything, the only flaw it has on it, there's no spine ticks, there's no problem with the corners.
Yeah.
There's the ever so slight amount of spine roll. You need to look very closely. It's almost non-existent, but it is there.
Yeah, that's gonna
But-
help. That's gonna hold it back from the very highest grades. 9.8, 9.6 is out of the question. So you're coming 9.2, 9.4 maybe into play, depending on anything else.
Basically, you get
But
that.
it's hard. I mean, like I said, you really have to have an eagle eye and have all these criteria in your head and check for everything. It's really hard grading
Yeah.
above a 9.92, man. It really is.
But for
But
$10, $10 you're not going
Bucks, you can't. You stole that kind
Yeah.
of book. You
Okay, that's enough. I don't want to spend any more time on this book because we've seen it before. Let's go to the next one.
next.
First Green Goblins,
A sweet book.
925.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sure it's negotiable, but
What's the significance of that book there?
it's a retcon of her Golden Age costume. The Golden Age costume was nothing much. It was very kind of stylized, very over the time, 40s, 50s. This is the second new costume, which people would normally recognize it with the bolero jacket, the boots, and the fish.
Cool. What do you got there? So, oh, hey, let me see that one.
40. There's
I
one.
still need to get that one for myself.
There's one over there for 25 and a little less good condition than this one. So if you're looking for this one with the origin issue,
And this one, are you thinking of picking this one up? for the
I love
Use?
the cover. I don't want to pay $30 for it, but
Yeah.
I want to look for everything.
And the next book is up is Mike's. And again, Mike rocking the Wonder Woman bondage covers. Wow, Mike.
Ouch, man. Cue sound effect of gunshot. Ook sniped me on this one. Got me. Dang.
Oddly enough, they were asking me earlier, where did I get this? We were on their way out, and it was just one of the hallway guys actually that had it, and it just caught my eye, and I said, where does that cover look familiar? Oh yes, it was in one of your books.
Oh, the DC cover girls. Yes.
Yeah, the DC cover book. Yeah, so the hardcover, whatever. So I was like, he had it there, said, make me a deal, anything. He had it for $40, and I said, no, I'm not going to pay that.
How much did you pay?
I said
$30
$30
Canadian?
$30
Wow,
Canadian.
Kind of stole that book.
So I took a close look at it. I give it about a 6.5, and that's being harsh. Maybe closer to 7, but I'm gonna give it a fine plus, fine, whatever. And maybe I paid around the price that it's worth. You might say it's worth 16, but it is a classic cover.
Well, you cannot get
Well,
more
classic
phallic.
bondage cover, yeah.
You cannot get more phallic than
Well,
that,
it's
boys and
also
girls.
a
She's
first
strapped
appearance.
to a bomb.
Also,
Look at the shape of the
Yeah.
bomb.
Okay.
Okay, enough said?
PG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
G-rated.
And it's also a first appearance of Morgan Tracy.
Oh, first appearance too.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
But
So-
that's insignificant
Oh.
compared to that bondage cover.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where the money is.
That's where the
boys.
money is, yeah.
It's one of the best, in my opinion, bondage covers from that run from the 70s. The only one I would say I prefer better is Paul's got it. I think it's 229. The Red Panzer in a control room, missile headed towards her. That's my favorite.
It's the one of only 3 CGC books I own.
And
Is
that's
that
a
right?
nice 9.0. That's a good one
Yeah.
to
And I
have.
have that as well. And just to
Finish up on this, yeah.
I've got a whole bunch of books in
You do.
around this age and
Yeah.
time. About 23, or just about probably my 24th book in that timeline. So it's not just because it's bondage, but
Yeah. Okay, didn't
definitely
I?
attractive.
Do I remember you saying earlier that Wonder Woman is now your second largest collection?
Second or third.
Yeah.
It comes to whatever you can get at
Yeah.
the grade I'm happy with and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I believe X-Men and Fantastic Four and then Wonder Woman, there's somewhere in between those are 1, 2, and 3. I'm not sure.
Cool. Okay, that's fantastic, Mike. Mike, that's a great acquisition, and thanks for bringing it in. Volume 2, you already own that one, right?
No, I don't have that.
Oh, you don't own it yet? Huh. Next up, one of Jose's books. A very, very nice copy of Miss Marvel #2. Jose, go at her.
Okay, so you have to have strategies. When you don't have a lot of funds, you have to do small ball hitting, I said. You can't swing for the fences, aim for the home run. As I've always tried to do now, I try to start with a bargain bin book. So this is my selection from the Toronto Comic-Con this last weekend. Why this key issue? It's a Captain Marvel movie coming out. Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. It's played now by Academy Award-winning actress Brie Larson, and it's going to be the first Marvel-led female movie.
Cool.
There are other important reasons for snagging this Bronze Age key issue. The first one is that it's gaining steam on the market for these two main things. It's the origin of Miss Marvel, and it's her second appearance as Miss Marvel. Not the origin of exactly how she gets her powers, like in Captain Marvel 18, in which Miss Marvel 2 is based on and does retell. This issue tells a bit more of her Kree origins and earlier adventures as Miss Marvel, and it's told, believe it or not, during a lunch date with none other than Mary Jane Watson, of all people.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now, despite this being noted as the origin of Miss Marvel, there is another important key issue factor here to note that isn't noted yet, and that this issue is the second published appearance of Miss Marvel. We should all know that by now, that second appearances are gaining steam in the market, so some characters, especially ones with movies coming out, are heating up. Now, another reason, maybe a minor one, maybe or not, it's the first appearance of Michael Barnett in this issue. Why Michael Barnett? Well, aside from being the psychiatrist that helps Carol Danvers realize that she is the superheroine Miss Marvel, the character is actually a love interest for her character. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he will be in the movie, but it will be a good opportunity to switch the gender roles and actually have the dude be a non-superpowered love interest like Natalie Portman in Thor.
Yeah.
I, for one, think that the character of Michael Barnett should be in the Captain Marvel movie, maybe not as a psychiatrist, but that actually would be interesting to play upon a superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe visiting a shrink. So, to recap, origin of Miss Marvel, second appearance of Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel, and the first appearance of love interest supporting character Michael Barnett. Now, if the shrink character does end up being cast in the movie, consider it an extra bonus concerning this key issue. Right now, Miss Marvel 2s are steaming up. It's a comic that really hasn't taken off quite yet. Those CGC 9/8s are already recently dropping past the $300 mark.
What?
Yes, for
yeah.
9/8s.
Wow.
Overbloated prices for high-grade CGC copies have just started popping out on the internet. Best to ignore them. Strategy, even better, snagging raw copies in terms of price. On eBay, high grades of this copy are still quite affordable. Check out your local comic book shop, however, or a Comic-Con can prove even more fruitful, as it was for me. As you can see, $25. The guy gave me 20% off. He get docked $5. $20 Canadian is what, about $15 US. Nothing paid for this book. Great book. So this issue was highly overlooked. It was not recently wanted, a sleeper, whatever you want to call this. This is the book to buy before all the hype starts kicking in. It's a key issue, but it's one of those Bronze Age key issues that most of the market really didn't care about. So buy it now while the prices are still reasonable. Anyway, this comic is steaming up, and it's only a matter of time before the rest of the market catches on. Strategy, if you've got this one already or you're not sure, dig out, check out your stash, make sure. And maybe it's a good time to either CGC it if you think you've got a really high enough grade, or hold on to it for a bit longer until the comic really hits the hot burner before cashing it in. After all, Captain Marvel movie is not going to be released until 2018, so no real hurry in selling this one just yet, but snagging is surely a different story.
Okay, I don't get a chance to brag very often, but I'm going to brag right now. I'm going to go back into my earlier videos, but I'm pretty
have this book.
I'm pretty sure I bought this at the 2015 Comic-Con.
How much you paid for it?
I picked up a really nice copy in the $3 bin.
Absolutely, you did, yeah. Yeah.
So I paid $20 more, about a year later? See, a year can make a difference.
I win.
You win on that one, but assuming they're both a high enough grade that you think that they are, I think mine's at least a 9.
Yeah, I think mine's around an 8. I mean, mine's not a perfect
That's
copy.
gonna make a huge difference.
Mine's a
Paulie.
pretty nice copy. I'm not lying here.
So he's going to be happy with what he
I'm
gets.
happy. Yeah.
So anyway, this is my bargain bin, and again, proving that you can't try to outthink the market, man. Think out the ones that are not getting the love yet, but they're definitely gonna get that kiss in the future.
Cool. Thanks for bringing it in, Jose.
problem.
Great book. Okay, next on the agenda, we got a real nice Wonder Woman, number 240. It's one of Mike's books. Mike, fantastic.
Yeah. Just cover appeal. 1978 from February. Paid about 11 and a quarter for this in US dollars. This is a really, really nice copy. It's about a VF Plus 8.5. Worth about $18. So there's not a lot of room on it. But this is my second Jose Luis Garcia Lopez cover from Wonder Woman, and well, cover appeal, man. I didn't know who did it when I first bought it until I researched it. Love it. Picked it up.
I think to me what I find funny is we talk about these books, these 35-cent covers, like they're nothing, like we just get them for cover appeal, when in fact this book is close to 40 years old. In fact, in 2 years it will be 40 years old.
I know.
And it looks like it was printed yesterday. 40 years old.
Oh yeah. And
I was, how old was I? Like 9, 8, 9. I'm dating myself, but it's amazing how well preserved these, even the non-key books are.
Yeah. Well, think of the big show at the time. 1978 would have been the Wonder Woman show with Linda Carter.
Oh, yeah.
As a 9-year-old boy, wow, she was a goddess.
oh, one of my favorite shows.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
And this is a spectacular non-key book, Mike. And again, fantastic cover. Thanks for bringing it in.
The only
Not
thing
a
I would
problem.
say that as the last parting thing, it feels for me, at least personally, anticlimactic. I really love that previous cover, the bondage cover with the bomb. Sorry, that's my preference for that.
Yeah. And next up, we got one of Jose's books. And doesn't take Jose long to start rocking the keys. And he's brought in another spectacular book here. Wow, Jose.
Yeah, Fantastic Four 66 from September 67. Origin of Him begins. Now, we're stopping up a run on the ladder as far as the affordability scale here.
Yeah.
My first book was a bargain book, $20. This book was $60 Canadian. Not insignificant amount of money. They were asking $75. It was from the mom and pop dealer. Okay, so it's a comic book that sets up, of course, the introduction of the character that I've long recommended getting. There's quite a bit of key surrounding the first appearance of him, Warlock. Adam Warlock. This mostly has to do with the fact that the character started out as him, and this is the genesis of that. What lurks behind the beehive? Of course, it's the mystery of the year. This issue begins the origin of him, and although we don't see him in the comic, we do see his cocoon. It's the same cocoon that has been shown at the end of Thor, The Dark World, and in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Now, this is considered by the market as the first appearance of him, and this issue begins him's origin, where he's enclosed in a cocoon and remains inside of it until the very last page of next issue, Fantastic Four 67, where he emerges from the cocoon in the last 2 panels of that issue.
Wow.
It's got the first appearance of the Enclave and the Beehive. That's a research facility. The Enclave is not officially named here, but later on in their appearance in Fantastic Four 2007. Now, this is a mid-grader, and it's a mid-tier book for me. $60 Canadian, not insignificant, not a lot. That's under $50, around $47, $48 US. From the comic book realm, and this is the grade that I would give it, I would say about a 6.5. The 5.5, 6, and 6.5 spreads, for at least as far as the comic book realm, and I think they're fairly reasonable, are at $89.25, $127.50, and $170 for a 6.5.
Nice.
So to manage to get 20% off $75 to $60, and to actually have like a nice little hit like that, now it's a good feeling.
Nice, nice.
And this was from a dealer that had no internet presence and that did not have a physical store. So they were just there, kind of mom and pop, probably doing it on the weekend.
Yeah.
And at a good small show, you'll see a different cast of characters from show to show. And that's the good thing about it, that the big guys or the regular guys will always be there. The Helgolands, Bat Caves, and Big Bees and that kind of stuff. But it's the smaller independent dealers sometimes have good books, and I scored on this one.
Yeah, yeah. Now, actually, while you're on the topic of the big vendors and the small vendors, I mean, there were a lot of great vendors at the show this weekend, but there was something that happened that was a bit negative that I think we were going to discuss, weren't we?
Okay, let me start off by saying this, okay? You know what? If we've all gone to cons, we've always found ourselves sometimes maybe in this situation. You've got books, and you'd like to trade, flip, or even sell to one of the dealers there maybe. And there's a certain way to do it, and there's a certain way you don't do it. If you approach a dealer, you offer them the books, and then if you come to a conclusion, whether on a flip or trade or a sell, that's fine. What should happen after that fact is you should not linger at the dealer's booth, okay? And you should definitely not linger and then try to talk up or have some of his customers that are looking at his stuff look at your stuff.
Yeah.
Because look, you know what? You paid an appearance fee. He's paid a table fee. He has every right to sell there. You don't have a right to basically set up camp in front of him and try to kind of lure away his customers. So that was unfortunate. The dealer acted appropriately. He warned the person several times, and finally it got heated because obviously this person was not heeding the dealer's advice to basically leave the vicinity of his table booth, and that has every right to him to ask that.
And just to make clarify, just in case Jose didn't make it clear, there was one kind of young punk walking around, the con, selling his books.
Set up his box and try to sell it to the customers in front of a booth.
He was acting like an asshole. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, it's
and
calling a spade a spade.
and one
One of the
dealers
finally
called
had
him
enough
out on it.
Yeah.
And
As
the
is every
dealer-
right as should be.
The dealer was very polite, started very polite, asked him to leave, and this punk actually confronted and actually escalated
Yeah.
for no apparent reason.
It's very unfortunate that these
yeah.
things happen.
Yeah.
So the lesson to make it put an end to it: don't be that guy.
Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, anyways, great book, Jose. Thanks for bringing it in.
No problem. Sorry to end on a negative note, but it's kind of like, look, you know what? Know what to do and not to do. Okay.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, I know this book like an old friend. Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and Mockingbird, number 95.
Yeah.
Now, I was really pissed off when you got this book and I didn't, because I was actually been looking at this book for a while.
And I picked it up at the Toronto Comic Book
Yeah,
Show, the
yeah.
previous one we were at. Yeah.
Yeah. So lo and behold, there it was at the show. And not only was it there, but it had a really, really reasonable price on it.
How reasonable was that?
$42.
Holy, $42. What grade is it in?
It's, well, you tell me. What do you think?
I think it's at least a VF,
Yeah.
if not
yeah.
more. I think mine's a VF at least, maybe a little more, but
Yeah.
not much more. If it's a VF, it's an 8, it's an 8.5, maybe, but definitely an 8. And I paid $70.
That's right. That's right. And this is one of those vendors that has been there every time we've been to the Toronto Comic Book Show. And I started talking to the guy, and he knocked it down to $35.
You stole that book. You
nice.
literally paid half of what I paid. I paid 7. You paid 35
Yeah,
bucks
yeah.
for this book.
Wow.
Wow.
And not going to spend too much time on it because we've seen it before. Jose showed it previously.
Yeah, I
but
think
this
I
is
did, yeah.
this is a key. It's the first appearance of Mockingbird.
Love Mockingbird.
Needless to say, if you're looking for it, if you see it and it's at a good price, pick it up.
Yeah, you definitely could have paid twice that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Easily.
Wow, we have Batman 286 from April 77. Welcome, Mr. Aparo.
Woot, 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 woot. What can I say about the Comic-Con there at the convention center? I mean, I paid $7.50
You-
US for this.
You paid
At
under
a
$10.
7.5, it's worth about $24.50 easily. I mean, even some of our local vendors would have a higher price, especially when you get to a Joker cover.
for sure.
Key fact for this boy,
I
Joker
couldn't
cover.
believe that this guy was selling it at that price. I was like, it was the end of the day. I'm getting tired. I was like, okay, I'll flip through this guy. We haven't paid any attention to this guy.
Didn't get the love earlier.
Oh my God, look at that. Are you kidding me? I'll take it for sure. I'm
So I guess at
happy.
least one of us was listening when I was singing the praises of our Mr. Jim Aparo here, talking about his work on Detective and Batman.
Oh
Oogie
yeah.
was listening, I guess.
Absolutely.
Nice
because
cover
look at
book,
that.
Oog. You got definitely a good deal on
But
that.
it was just like, it was, and again, it was in a beat up cover where the quality didn't look as good as it did once I took it out, looked at it, opened it up, and checked the pages and everything else, and then mylar'd it. It looks so much better.
Wow, it looks pretty
So,
stunning. Yeah, good
It is a
pickup.
stunning cover for something I paid like $10 Canadian for. Oh,
Very
yeah.
cool.
And Batman, as we all know, Batman is to DC as Spider-Man is to Marvel. You can't go wrong. Even non-keys, one of the most collectible
Well,
books you
people-
can. And I talked to Phil at the Planet Hobby, and anything he's always said, anything with a Joker on the cover,
Anything with a Joker on the cover is collectible.
It's gold. Gold,
It's
baby.
Gold, baby.
And if I'm going to have a last word on this, think of the DC Holy Trinity, not in religious terms, but Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman have been featured tonight. That's the Holy Three.
the Holy Trinity. Amen.
There you go.
And next up, we've got two absolutely beautiful modern books that Jose picked up this weekend. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, Canary said it best. Next, so for my next two books, following riffing off you when you picked up all those modern books from the Batcave, well, you know what? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. These are a Batcave and another dealer's books here from the Toronto Comic Book Show here. These are two big artists doing their work and some of their finest work, in my humble opinion. On the left, we have there, of course, one of my favorites, the Canary, Black Canary by Adam Hughes. And on the right, we have Michael Turner. Okay, so modern books. Adam Hughes covers are one of those really rare modern beasts. Modern books where the covers alone command premium prices in the marketplace. The most famous, of course, in my humble opinion, is Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes issue 23 variant. The total print run on that issue was around 41,000, so the 1 in 10 variant means that there are only around 4,100 copies out there in the market. Just for comparison's sake, one of our favorites, that uber popular Harley Quinn, the second volume, first series, had a total print run of around 92,000. So 10% means that there are about 9,200 copies of that variant. So
We know what those
significantly
are
more.
worth. Yeah.
And we all know what those are going for. Now, my copy on the left here, Justice League of America, Volume 2, Issue number 6, 1 in 10 variant, had a 13,000 print run. Now, hold on for a second. 13,000 print run for the variant. That shows you just how large the regular version was.
Yeah.
A staggering 130,000 copies of this book.
Wow.
Even so, 13K is still, relatively speaking, somewhat a comfortable number in terms of rarity, but this probably won't go much in terms of price appreciation given the character and the print run. In the marketplace, online, you'll see these books going from around 20 to 40 bucks US. Okay,
Still
so
pretty good.
still reasonable. I paid $25 from that mom and pop dealer.
Yeah.
Not a bad price. I got $5 off. It was
Yeah.
$30. Having said all of this, of course, the final point to take away talking about this book is that it must be strongly emphasized that rare, and that is a relative term, does not necessarily equate valuable. Demand is all important in this category. Will the fans, the hardcore fans, love it? Will the collectors spend more than the cover to acquire it, and significantly more? These are questions that you must ask yourself if you intend to speculate on covers, variants, specific artist variants. Now, a little tidbit here, Fat, just to finish up on this book. The rarest cover, as far as Adam Hughes is, and this you might be interested, the Star Wars Rebel Heist number 2, 1 in 40 sketch variant that had a tiny total print run of 18,710 copies. So the 1 in 40 variant sketch means that there's only about 468 copies available.
They're worth a fortune.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the only female cover depicting Princess Leia among all the Adam Hughes drawings for this 4-issue miniseries.
Yeah.
Personally speaking, and I'm being personally here, I think it's ugly no matter how rare it is.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay.
No comment.
All
no
right,
comment.
enough said about that. Let's go to the next book. And the next book, with the Michael Turner Batman Rebirth #1 issue currently blowing up in the marketplace, I thought I'd highlight some of his DC covers that are especially good and wouldn't break the bank. His cover run on the Justice League of America, issues 1 to 12, was great, but his work on issues 0, 1, 2, and 12 on the connecting covers for 8, 9, and 10, of which this is 9 right here, are awesome.
Yeah.
Need I said more? I mean, that one had the Canary. This one has Power Girl and Canary.
Yeah.
Oh my God, double trouble for me, man. Oh boy.
And when I saw this, I was like, this is probably one of the most spectacular Justice League of America covers I've ever seen.
Let me give it a shout out for some of his other work. The same can be said of his Flash run from 207 to 211, with issue 210 being exceptional. And last but not least, one of my favorites, Supergirl issue number 50. Turner, and a little bit about him, he was discovered by Mike Silvestri at a convention, and he was hired by Silvestri's Top Cow Productions as an artist. He initially did background illustrations for Top Cow titles before co-creating that character, Witchblade. In 98, he debuted the character-owned Phantom, having also worked on his new series, Soulfire. In March 2000, he was diagnosed, unfortunately, with a form of cancer in his right pelvis. He was treated, but he lost a hip, 40% of his pelvis, and 3 pounds of bone.
Jeez.
Oh, God. And of course, that was followed by 9 months of radiotherapy. Now, he departed Top Cow in late 2002, and he found his own comic book publishing company, Aspen MLT Incorporated. However, the release of his Aspen titles was delayed by a year because of a lawsuit with Top Cow Productions, and that was over the rights of Phantom and the other rights to the unreleased titles Soulfire and Ecos, both of which he had begun developing on when he was working at Top Cow before leaving them. And Aspen and they settled the lawsuit out of court in 2003. In 2004, he contributed covers to various DC comic titles, including the Flash and Identity series. He provided the cover art and co-wrote the Godfall story arc that ran in the 3 main Superman titles in early 2004, and he illustrated the 6-issue Supergirl story arc in Superman Batman. His creator-owned title Soulfire began publication in that year, 2004, and Phantom resumed publication in later that year as well, though under the Aspen banner rather than Top Cow. Sadly, and we have to end on a sad note here, Michael Turner died on June 27, 2008 at Santa Monica Hospital of complications from bone cancer. He was just 37 years old.
That's terrible.
Okay, now for Paulie's next book, Gold Key Star Trek. Oh, I think he broke his cherry on this one. Is this your first one?
You're right, Jose. This is my first one.
He did break his cherry. Photon torpedoes. He shoots, he scores. Wow. You got this from Helgoland?
Yeah, Hagenland, yeah.
Hagenland, yeah.
Now, in the early 80s, I collected the Marvel Star Treks. I have most of them. In fact, truth be told, I think I probably have them all. I've never shown them. Maybe one day I will. But what I've never done is ever collected the Gold Key Star Treks. And honestly, I've always wanted to start collecting them. And I'm happy to say that last weekend I finally started my collection with this beautiful gem. This one is number 48, although you can't tell from looking at the cover. And again, I'm not entirely certain what year it came out, but I believe it was probably January 1978, but don't quote me on that. Now, unlike a lot of the Gold Keys, you're not going to find this one in the $3 bin. As far as Gold Key is concerned, this is probably the one title, Star Trek, that is at least somewhere on par with the Marvel and DC collectible series, in that they are more sought after. So to find them in good condition isn't easy, and when you do, you're going to pay a considerable price for them.
Yeah.
What did we see? The Star Trek number 1 in that bin there? It was actually not
poor condition, and they wanted $500.
$500 for it.
Wow,
Yeah.
and it was, I mean, it's a classic cover. It's got Spock on the cover, but man, was it rough. And when I say rough, I mean woof, woof, rough.
Yeah, yeah. So this one, like I said, I picked up at Hagenland, and I didn't pay a lot of money for it.
You got under $10?
It only cost me $8.
You got change from a tenner, you bastard.
Yeah. And with the exception of one of the corners, it is in really nice condition, and I'm very happy with it.
And that's the main thing, boys and girls. Like, you know what? Pay a few extra bucks more. Don't have regrets. Don't buy a book twice, man. Be happy with its condition. If you buy it and you like the look of it, generally, you will never have regrets about it.
Yeah, and I looked at the Comic Book Realm, and the breakdown on this one for 8, 9, and a 9.2 are as follows. In an 8.0, you're going to look at around $21 US. In a 9.0, it's around $24. And in a 9.2, the price listed for about $25. But like anything else, any comic, it's only really worth what
you're willing to pay
for it. And I mean, I don't collect because I ever want to sell. I just collect because I love them, and I do eventually want to collect the entire Star Trek Gold Key series because I do love them.
How many was it, the run? Under 100?
I think there's around 70 issues in total.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And not to mention that there was a lot of them there, all rough looking.
Mm-hmm.
Paul picked out the best
He
looking
picked out
one.
that cherry.
The best of the batch, yeah.
Best of the batch.
Hagenland
you
did,
do it.
Hagenland did have some in the back bin. Their back bin is reserved for some of the nicest books. Some
But
of
they
the
had $20, $30
$20,
price tag.
$40 price tags on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just didn't want to start. I was running out of cash. This is near the end of the day. So, yeah, this is the one I picked up. Okay, and these are Jose's last 2 books for the evening. And we're ending with 2 Supergirl girls. And, wow, some 2 really nice looking books here, Jose.
Yeah, sure enough. I thought I'd end the episode with Supergirl. Not Power Girl, strangely enough, who's my definite favorite. I think most people, they're one or the other is their favorite. Some people like both, but it's like the Beatles and the Stones. I mean, you're either usually a Power Girl fan or you're a Supergirl fan. So here we got some sweet and sour, something very different. On the left, we have the first issue of the first series that came out from Supergirl. And that's issue number 1 from November 72 early Bronze Age book. There she is getting smashed by some lunatic and some kind of a construction kind of digger there. And on the right-hand side, we have some modern magic from one of my favorites, and we referred to him in the earlier episode. This, of course, is, if anybody can recognize his distinctive style, Michael Turner.
Nice.
My favorite Supergirl cover he does. This is Supergirl from Superman, Batman. This is from October 2004, and it's a wonderful cover. I think this cover epitomizes everything I love about his style. He has a way of making women beautiful, yet also sexy and powerful, and it's a minor key in the sense that he changed her uniform a bit. He gave her a bare midriff there. You can see her top stomach, and it's a beautiful cover. Now, here are the price discrepancies. I paid only $10 for that cover, okay, from Retro Rare. Shout out to Sandy, and yet it's one of my favorite covers for Supergirl. I don't have that many. The other book was $100. I bought it from that mom and pop guys. They had it for $125. I wheedled it down to $100. I figure it's around an 758, around the VF, and at that price, it's not too bad. Yet when you think about it, do I only get $10 worth of pleasure from that Michael Turner cover? Heck no, man. I would argue I get $100 worth it. That doesn't mean to slag the other book. It's, from the two, I mean, I get equal, if not more pleasure from that Turner cover. And it's such a sad story. I mean, he died way too young to think, he could have had another 40, 50 years of productive artwork. He really was a rising star. I love his work, and I will continue to collect his work. The Supergirl I bought as a kind of thing because I've heard very good reviews of the show. I mean, this is the first episode to her very first series, and it's seen an increase due to the CBS TVC show, which aired last October in 2015. They announced that they renew it, but it's coming back on the CW network. Like I said, it's got cover art by someone named Bob Oxner. I'm not somebody I'm very familiar with. The script, it's Trail of the Bad Man by Carrie Bates. Pencils by Art Saf and inks by Vince Coletta. The comic book realm at 7.5 is about $73.50. At 8, it's $89.25. At 8.5, it's $94.50. $100 at 9 and $101.85 at 9 too. Which again, these are typical comic book realm prices where you're not getting that big spreads between the grades. I think it's a 7.58. I think it's a $100 book, and I think I paid what it basically should be. But again, ending on a Supergirl note, I mean, it's fantastic. 2 great covers that I really love, but I really love that Michael Turner cover.
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. Beautiful.
Well, Jose, those are fantastic books, and thanks for bringing them in.
No problem.
Yeah, great pickups, Jose. Really fantastic pickups.
Yeah, showing that you can spend $10 and you can spend $100 and get equal enjoyment from 2 different books for 2 completely different reasons.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Mike is bringing it home tonight with the very last 2 books of the evening. And not just any 2 books, 2 absolutely spectacular books. An Amazing Spider-Man and a Teen Titans. Mike, wow, man.
Okay, so we got Teen Titans number 23 from October 1969. And that's Amazing Spider-Man number 86 from July of 1970. These 2 books are costume changes
These are 2 key books, man. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, you're taking my job, man. You're the run guy. These are key books.
You know, when we
These
were
are
going
keys.
to the con, we were joking around. Paul was saying, "I'm gonna snipe you. I'm gonna snipe you."
You sniped me on that Teen Titans for
I
sure.
figured out
you
how
got
to
it
do
the
it.
box ahead of me.
Stayed
Damn
a
you.
box ahead of you on the right, and
Yes.
that's how I did it. That's how I
Yeah.
did it. I got all these. Hey, what do you think about this?
Oh, go
Oh,
put
no,
it back.
no, I'm gonna buy it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
So
got it.
anyway,
I think most of us take tremendous satisfaction from beating Jose to the punch when it comes to finding keys.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I got to tell you, these books had the most room. At least the Spider-Man did. And Spider-Man's so hard to get. I was really happy to get that at the price I did.
They had 2 or 3 copies, if I remember
had
correctly.
different copies of it.
Yeah.
And this one, okay, worked out to about 45 US. And sure, I can give it a 6.5. You'd really have to look at it to see.
Yeah, I'd say at
It
least a
looks
6. Yeah, it's a fine book.
6.65.
Yeah.
You know, VF, or sorry, a fine.
Whatever, dude. It's a nice looking book. That's the main thing.
But that's like a 3-bagger. It's killer. It's
You
a
did killer
deal.
price. Okay, so let's say that this is a key factor because Romita retrofitted her costume, and when we're talking about her, we're talking about the Black Widow. He gave her that
yeah.
classic one-piece black cat suit and her iconic Widow's Bite. Those are her wrist guns and electric shock wrist
Absolutely.
bracelets there.
And
And it's
it's
a classic retrofit of a character.
And it states it as being the origin story of
Yes,
Her
Origin 2.
story,
Retrofitted
exactly.
her Origin 2.
absolutely.
Spectacular.
And then, of
So-
course, the Teen Titans thing, it's the same thing. You can see the old
And the new
Wonder
on
Girl,
the same
Donna
cover.
Troy. Yes, her first appearance with her new classic costume. Yeah.
So you just see these, and I had to grab them. I
Yeah,
had to
nice.
snipe them.
Yep, the good pickups, Oog, man. You did well. I mean, I'm jealous, man. I want both those books. I was looking for those books, and you got just ahead of me.
Yeah, definitely 2 books I'd like to add to my inventory eventually as well. Wow. That was another, I think that's it. That was another fantastic episode, and I can't think of any better way to end on than these 2 absolutely spectacular books. Yeah, and we had a great time at the collectable. What was it called?
The Toronto Comic Book Show.
Always get
Yeah,
the
next one is at the end of November.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Batcave is internet only.
Mm-hmm.
You can reach him or contact him for any books that you're looking for
Oh, I know. I got his
through the
business
internet,
card.
through the Toronto Comic Con book
Mm-hmm.
website.
So he's got no bricks and mortar. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
no
bricks
a lot,
and mortar.
A lot of
Yeah,
them don't,
Yeah.
and that's great for us.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, leave a comment because we really like reading them. And yeah, we'll see you at the next episode. And yeah, keep collecting.
Hoi hoi.
Especially this Mike. Yes, yeah.
You can't make it right.